Part 4 of the Pacific Northwest Trail, miles 185 to 250, from Yaak, Montana to Bonners Ferry, Idaho. On July 13th, 2022, I left Yaak to follow the PNT through remote parts of the Purcell Mountains in the Kootenai National Forest to its first westbound state border, where I would leave Montana and enter Idaho, the second of the 3 states the PNT travels through. There's a good deal of road walking in this 65-mile section, some unpaved, but mostly, thankfully, on unpaved forest roads. Leaving the Yaak River Road, the PNT follows the west fork of the Yaak River to French Creek, where it crosses south and begins heading up towards Garver Mtn. You know, walking on a road is a different experience. It's generally more stressful mentally and physically because you're repeating the same movements over and over again on your legs. And then mentally, you kind of have to watch out for cars. I have little caps that I can put on my trekking poles. That means I can use my trekking poles fully on cement without wearing them down too much. Going out to thru-hike a continuous footpath on the PNT means you'll be faced with decisions about what feels safe and reasonable in terms of walking on roads, and every hiker will need to make their own assessment. Thankfully, there were only a few short stretches of road that I thought were particularly dangerous on the PNT, and those were all much further along on the trail. Yeah, so the worst part of this road walk is the mosquitoes, honestly. Sun coming out at last. Alright, back up here with the lupine and the asters and the bear grass and the paintbrush. It's drier, more views. Back on trail by the Garver Mtn lookout. Wow, what do we think? 1 extra mile for the lookout, for the likes, for the subscribes. I can't even get to the top. Well, at least it's windy enough to keep the mosquitoes away. Fire lookout towers of all stripes on the PNT offer a rare and welcome punctuation to a trail that has a lot of steady up and down in the forest. Sometimes you have to go a ways off trail to get to them, but especially after a lot of road walking and/or being hounded by bugs, they are usually worth it. The Garver Mtn lookout is only available to occupy by reservation, but resting on its steps broke up the day and put me in a better mood, which opened me to the world more as the PNT led on to a peaceful ridgeline on the northern slope of Garver Mtn. Mile 200 is a pretty nice spot. Just a peaceful ridge walk with things that blow in the wind. The sky is an element like that above you, sort of all around you, making all the plants move. It's definitely one of those special moments on trail. You have an opportunity to just stand there and listen. Looks like it could be more scenic over there. That's the way I'm heading. I'm on Feist Creek Road, but earlier I saw my first bear, a black bear running away about 20 feet from the trail. It's back up on the ridge near mile 200. It's definitely a hot one today. Garver Mountain, the PNT headed downhill to Peak Creek, then curved around the northern base of Mushroom Mountain, and met back up with the West Fork Yaak River. Just after this point, there was an opportunity to take an official alternate route that headed further north into the Northwest Peaks Wilderness. It was a toss-up for me, as the alternate sounded more interesting, but a lot more time-consuming. So I ended up continuing on my journey on the primary route, which curved southward instead. Well, this road definitely does feel a lot more wild now. I mean, I haven't seen anyone at all today except before I got to Garver Lookout. I saw one truck headed up. 1 wet foot was the price for this beautiful seasonal water. Taking a break before the last couple of miles before the last reliable water source for a while. Should be finished with the road walking now. I'm at the base of the Rock Candy Mountain. The primary southern route of the PNT headed up to a ridgeline near Midge Creek and south of Blacktop Mountain, which I followed southwest to Rock Candy Mountain, a scenic open area with scree, meadows, and long views. I think I just pretty much crushed that climb. I wasn't even sure if I was going to go halfway up tonight originally. I just got up to the top. I have a liter of water. I can stop somewhere and cook dinner. Awesome. Backpacking is a great way to present yourself with simple challenges that hinge on an intimacy with the land. It's also a pretty great way to find immense pleasure in simple food, simple shelter,
it's always so good,
and the vagaries of the sky.
Can't resist heading up towards the light in the saddle. Just looks too good.
Alright, we got our campsite. The bugs know we're here, but it's pretty nice. Time to go put my bear bag up somewhere. But first, dessert. Thank you, Skylar. Oh! Here's the breakfast spot. Carried my air sack up from where I had it hung down below. I'm pretty excited about being just about done with Montana. Today I'm going to cross onto the Idaho border. Oh, hi there. That is pretty exciting. Got 10 miles in the morning on a ridge. It's good for thinking and just drifting in and out. There's so much just about the sun shining on you and the wind that makes you feel alive. It's feeling this huge thing that it's just always going. Being able to see the sun on plants, on flowers, on everything in between, how it connects everything together, creates new shapes and forms. New things are erupting out of the old constantly. And just being surrounded by things unabashedly living and dying and rotting and growing and hiding and coming out with the weather and the sounds and the seasons and the light. It just brings you back to what it really is to be alive, in a state of flux between infinite forces of violence and joy. And the more you go out there and just see how unrelentingly gorgeous everything is, the more you feel like you're a part of something gorgeous. You can feel that more immediately. Bugs on my hands. The song that comes to mind as I walk right now this morning is Riptide, which Justine does a great cover of.
I just gotta know. I can't have it any other way. I swear she's destined for the screen. Closest thing to Michelle Pfeiffer that you've ever seen. A lady running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. A lady running down to the riptide, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong.
From Rock Candy Mountain, the PNT headed northwest to meet back up with the alternate northwest peak route, then continued west to Cannock Peak. From there, the trail zigzagged southwest, crossing a few creeks and forest roads before the Montana-Idaho state border.
This is my lunch spot. This boardwalk, which is
Super close to the border with Idaho. Oh, I waited too long for my lunch break.
pretty good.
All right, Idaho. Once in Idaho, the PNT followed the Ruby Ridge Trail southwest through the Idaho Panhandle National Forest. Going across state lines has me thinking again about what was there before they existed. This was still Kootenai traditional territory. Kasanka or Kasanka is the east. And now I'm entering the Bonners Ferry band of Kootenai Indians, traditional territories.
These are everywhere. But like, what the fucking shit is this?
After winding its way across open hills south of Ruby Mountain, the PNT descends to the Moyie River Valley. Just going down the hot hill towards the valley below. You can see a big road down there. Getting pretty dehydrated, didn't remember where the next water source was, and almost missed it on the road. Had to walk off for a spring. And it's just buried in the bushes in this really kind of magical way. You like step inside the world of the bushes in the spring. The cold, wet water. with 4,000 feet of descent. Letting your feet dry out is pretty important. Before setting out for the Pacific Northwest Trail, I had taken a trip with my partner to Mexico City, and at the end of that delicious and intense vacation, I picked up some good old-fashioned E. coli poisoning, which lingered all the way up to the start of my hike. In fact, it took until this fourth section of trail for my stomach to go back to normal operation. The PNT cuts north along the Moyi River past Bussard Lake to a crossing on Earl Lane Road, but most hikers who come through here will try their luck with a stop at the Feist Creek Resort, just a bit further up the road from the bridge before continuing. And so it figures that after about 2 days of feeling normal, after more than a month, I won the lottery and got my second ever case of E. coli poisoning from contaminated well water at Feist Creek Resort. At least 12 hikers in 2022 ended up on the receiving end of this mini E. coli outbreak, which was investigated and traced back to the Feist Creek well by the Panhandle Health District.
Damn, Bambi, you got fucked up.
Here we are in the pool room at the Feist Creek Motel and Restaurant. What are we doing in the pool room? Sleeping? Theoretically? I think? The owners are super nice and lent us the use of their pickup truck for the morning to go into Bonner's Ferry. Definitely an unexpected evening, but they made us really nice food, burgers, and gave us beers. I mean, we paid for them obviously, but yeah, it was amazing to end up in a place where you can get that kind of stuff. I met Moondancer and Costanza here. Moondancer's an eastbound section hiker. Costanza's a westbound thru hiker like me. Of course, E. coli takes a while to hit you. In this case, about 30 hours. I'm headed back out on the trail for the final day of this section. From the Moyi River Valley, the PNT heads straight up to the top of Bussard Mountain. Alrighty, got some water at the creek. Time for the big hill. This trail is way better than the one that went up the other hill that I came down yesterday. It actually is pretty smooth. I've gone up a good ways now. Oh, I love you. Well, the mystery of why this is such a nice trail has been solved. They're currently making it so. We're going up that way now. And I'm going back on the old trail, it looks like. But that was a heck of a climb. Made so much easier by that part of trail that's there now, so. Yeah, that blue dot, that's how far it took me up that hill. Pretty awesome. Skylar and Jennifer, who I had contacted on my Garmin InReach, had graciously agreed to pick up a box for me from the Bonner's Ferry post office before it closed for the weekend. This meant I didn't need to accompany Costanza on his trip into town in the morning. But I also wanted to send some gear home, so I challenged myself to finish the section as quickly as I could, minus filming. Unbeknownst to me, a bacterial brick wall awaited me that would make all of these concerns moot. So I've gone up the past 3,000 feet, maintaining something like 2 miles an hour the whole way. I don't know. There's a chance I might make it into town by 4:30. Did it. Made it to the top of this trail on one kind bar. It's time for some real breakfast. Dude, my stomach is pissed off at me. Maybe it was thunder that I heard. Oh yeah, that was totally thunder that I heard earlier. Holy shit. Well, this is kind of weird trail, but easy walking. Jeez, roll out the red carpet into Bonner's Ferry. Let's go. Not all downhill, of course. Thunderclouds chasing me. All right, I'm officially over the little humps, and now I'm on the proper trail down into this big valley. After Bussard Mountain, the PNT contours the north side of a ridge, then cuts south near Rock Creek to the Camp 9 road. From there, the official PNT route is to actually jump off the road again and bushwhack down to Bush Lake. But as I was on a roll getting through this last bit of trail before Bonner's Ferry, I opted to take an unofficial alternate and just continue on the Camp 9 road until it switched back down to meet up with the Bush Lake road, which the official PNT continues on. I am doing my first little alternate on the road walk rather than the bushwhack. Overall, I'd say the official route is probably better, having heard that the bushwhack isn't too bad, and just on the general idea that a lake is probably a nicer stop than a clear cut. But like many of the Pacific Northwest Trail's official and unofficial alternates, it's a bit of a toss-up that you can simply decide when you get there.
Hills are alive with ocean spray, something like that. Alright, back on the PNT. Highway 95 and 1 is down there, you can hear it. Not sure if I get much of a crosswalk here, and how could you miss it, but gotta get down to this dirt road down here, and I think you just have to kind of do a little bushwhacking. Oh, that's a snake.
After Bush Lake Road, the PNT passes Highway 95 and drops down to the old Highway 95, following that to the junction with Idaho State Highway 1. The gap between the two 95s has no path, so it's up to you to just sort of figure it out. State Highway 1 is the logical place to hitch a ride into Bonner's Ferry.
Alright, have it your way, Bush.
But today, I would not have to hitchhike. Costanza, who had borrowed a truck from the owner of the Feist Creek Resort, actually came out to pick me up, which was a great bit of trail magic, courtesy both of the trail angel who provided the vehicle, Cliff, and the thru hiker who provided the ride.
We'll be on Highway 1 soon enough. Who's that guy with 2 toilets in his truck? Alright, here's Costanza in the truck.
Ow!
Courtesy of Cliff.
Use the restroom?
Oh yeah, time to take a dump at 60 miles an hour. Starting up Cliff's hiker mobile with Costanza.
Here we go.
Jennifer and Skylar in the back. Bonner's Ferry. Alright. You would not believe how many town chores I just got finished. Got stuff mailed back. It is time to take a shower and do laundry.
Bonner's Ferry sits right on the Kootenai River and is one of the larger towns along the Pacific Northwest Trail. It's a bit more spread out than a thru hiker would like, especially since hitchhiking is discouraged, or even technically illegal in Idaho, and there's no real transit options. But everything a hiker needs is available in the southern part of town, where I stayed at the Kootenai Valley Motel. My first day was a glorious whirlwind of town productivity and food tourism.
Wait, where did it go?
Then, the E. coli caught up with me and brought everything to a screeching halt.
I just had a whole night of food poisoning, basically. Vomited constantly and did not sleep. I had like stomach cramps that would just keep coming back, and so it looks like I'm taking 2 zeros anyways after the mad rush to see if I could just do 1. It's ridiculous. I just hope I feel better later today.
I did not feel better later today.
Dude, it's pretty grim. I couldn't barely eat or drink anything. It's definitely kind of a low point.
But thankfully, I had a comfortable bed to rest in, a smart TV, and easy access to groceries. So I checked in with my family and friends online and waited it out, hoping a third night of rest would do the trick.
Alright, well I woke up today and I've been able to drink. I still feel like not the greatest, but I think it's good enough to try. If things go poorly, I can escape to Lionhead Campground, although that's after the bushwhack, so really the main test will be, can I go up this hill today in the burn with my super heavy pack, full of food I probably won't even be able to eat.
Well, it's kind of hard to believe I'm right back out here where I got picked up by Costanza, but here I am. You know, my pack doesn't feel as heavy as I thought it would, so it's about all I can ask for. After several days of hot summer temperatures, I lucked out with a windy and partly cloudy day to shield me on my attempt to resume the trail. After a few miles of road walking north, I crossed the Kootenai River in its pastoral valley via the Copeland Bridge and headed northwest along the West Side Road towards Parker Creek, where the PNT starts a steep ascent up Parker Ridge Trail. After 3 nights in Bonners Ferry trying to get through illness as fast as I could, I was both exhausted and thrilled to get back out on the Pacific Northwest Trail and rejoin my rare opportunity to experience such a long thread of land, towns, people, and wilderness with all the presence I could muster. And the section of PNT west of Bonners Ferry requires it. This was one of the more infamous parts of the trail, with the PNT's longest continuous bushwhack over or alongside Lion's Head Ridge in the Selkirk Mountains. I had 1 state down and 2 to go.